Aaron Rodgers just did something nobody saw coming. After playing one of the worst games of his career, he walked into that press conference and completely lost it. He was defending someone else entirely. And what he said has the entire football world talking right now. Let me tell you how this went down. The game just finished. Rodgers played terrible, like really, really bad. 3 interceptions, less than 200 yards, the kind of game where you just want to hide and go home. Everyone knew he was going to get hammered with tough questions. So he sits down at the podium. He looks exhausted, angry. You can tell he doesn't want to be there. His jaw is tight. He's barely making eye contact with anyone. The first few questions are normal. What happened out there? Tell us about that interception. Standard stuff after a loss. Rodgers gives boring answers. We didn't play well. Their defense was good. The usual player talk that means nothing. Then everything changed. Some reporter asks about Mike Tomlin. Now, if you don't know, Steelers fans have been going crazy online. They want Tomlin fired. They're mad about losing in the playoffs again. Twitter is full of people saying he's done, he needs to go, Pittsburgh needs someone new. The question wasn't even that bad, just something like, what do you think about the criticism Mike Tomlin is getting? Rodgers doesn't hesitate. He leans forward and you can see his whole face change. You want my opinion? It's an absolute joke. The whole room goes silent. Everyone stops moving. It's a complete joke. He says again, Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in football. He's been great for years. And people want him fired? That's crazy. That shows me how spoiled some fans are. Nobody expected this. Rodgers just had the worst game of his season. Most guys would keep quiet, say sorry, and leave. But not him. Not today. He keeps talking. Do you know what Mike Tomlin has done? He's never had a losing season. Not even once. Do you understand how hard that is? Teams are supposed to go up and down in the NFL. That's how it works. But Tomlin keeps Pittsburgh winning every single year. You can see the reporters getting excited. This isn't the story they thought they were getting. I've played against his teams forever, Rodgers continues. They're always ready, always tough, always smart. That's because of good coaching. That's because Tomlin knows what he's doing. Yeah, maybe they don't win the Super Bowl every year. You know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl? There are amazing coaches who never won one. Someone tries to ask another question, but Rodgers cuts them off. No, I'm not done. This is what bugs me about football now. Everyone wants instant results. Everything is, what did you do yesterday? Nobody appreciates consistency anymore. Tomlin took over the Steelers and kept them great. That's really hard to do. The whole vibe in the room has shifted. Nobody's asking about Rodgers' bad game anymore. He's completely taken over. And another thing, the way fans talk about him, you'd think Pittsburgh loses all the time. They're in the playoffs almost every year. They're competitive. Young players come in and get better. That's what good coaches do. He takes a drink of water. You can tell he's getting more fired up. I've been playing football long enough to know good coaching when I see it. I've had good coaches. I've played against good coaches. Mike Tomlin is a really good coach. And if Pittsburgh fires him just because fans are mad, another team will grab him right away and be really happy. Here's the interesting part. Rodgers isn't even friends with Tomlin. He's not doing this as a favor. He's just genuinely angry about the whole situation. The problem is we've made this culture where if you don't win the championship, you failed. That's nuts. Only one team wins every year. Should we fire all the other coaches? Should we just change coaches every season until we get lucky? A reporter tries to say something about holding coaches accountable, but Rodgers shakes his head. Accountability? Fine. But there's a difference between accountability and being unrealistic. Tomlin is accountable. He works hard every day. His players like him. Other coaches respect him. But that's not good enough for some people. You have to wonder if Rodgers is thinking about himself too. He's gotten plenty of hate over the years, fans turning on him, people saying he's washed up. Maybe that's why this bothers him so much. I just played one of my worst games ever, he says with this bitter laugh. Trust me, I know about criticism. I know what it's like when people say, you're done, you should quit. But some criticism makes sense, and some is just people being stupid. That word stupid just hangs there. The reporters are writing everything down fast. They know this is the big story now. Mike Tomlin doesn't deserve what people are saying. He just doesn't. And if I look dumb for saying this after I played so bad, fine, but someone had to say it. Nobody knows what to say. This whole press conference was supposed to be about Rodgers messing up. Instead, it's about defending a coach on another team. Finally, someone asks, "Why do you care so much about this?" Rodgers looks right at them. "Because I'm tired of watching good people get trashed by people who don't know what they're talking about. This game is hard. Coaching is hard. But everyone treats it like a video game, like you can just restart and everything will be perfect." He stands up. He's done. Mike Tomlin is a great coach. That's all I have to say. You can write whatever you want about how I played today. You'd be right. But leave him alone. Then he just walks out. Press conference over. The reporters are sitting there probably confused about what just happened. But here's why this matters. It wasn't a normal press conference moment. Rodgers didn't give some prepared answer. He said what he really felt. In a league where everyone is super careful about what they say, where players are trained to say nothing interesting, Rodgers actually meant what he said. Was he trying to distract from his own bad game? Maybe a little, but you could see real anger there, real frustration about how fast people turn on successful coaches. It wasn't calculated. It wasn't smooth. It came out messy, and that's usually how you know it's genuine. The whole thing was maybe 3 minutes long. But people are going to be talking about those 3 minutes way more than anything that happened in the actual game. Box scores fade. Quotes like that don't. They stick because they hit a nerve that goes way beyond one Sunday afternoon. Because it was real. It was honest. And in sports, you don't get that very often. Most press conferences are noise. This one had weight. You could tell Rodgers wasn't thinking about headlines or reactions. He was speaking like someone who has been in the league long enough to stop caring about approval. Rodgers was mad about his performance, but he was even more mad about watching a good coach get disrespected. He's seen how quickly the narrative flips. One bad stretch, and everything you've built gets questioned. One playoff loss and years of consistency suddenly don't matter. That's what made this press conference so wild. Not that Rodgers defended someone, but that he sounded fed up. Fed up with the cycle. Fed up with the outrage. Fed up with the idea that if you don't win it all, you failed. The reporters got way more than they expected. They came for quotes about a bad game. They left with a statement about how broken expectations have become in modern sports. And honestly, whether you agree with him or not, at least he said something real.